What's up, everybody? This is your host with the most from the East Coast. Big waves in the building, man. We are back with another Midday Madness episode. Officially 24 hours away from knowing who the franchise quarterback of the Carolina Panthers will be. There's been a lot of speculation. There's been a lot of nerves. There's been a lot of conversation going over the last couple of months. There's even been some jobs cost because of this conversation over the last couple of months. Some friendships ruined because of this conversation over the last couple of months. There's been multiple perspectives, different perspectives on who should be going first, who shouldn't be going first. We've made arguments about who is the right guy, who is the right fit. We've talked about in draft videos what the strengths and the weaknesses of all of these players. We've identified weaknesses and strengths, and it all leads up till this in 24 hours. It's finally time, Panther Nation, for us to find out who our franchise QB will be. Now, who that is still just as much as a mystery as it was this time last week. Obviously, we know that Bryce Young is expected to be the favorite and named to be called out tomorrow. But we may be throwing some wrenches in there. Over the last 24 hours, a report came out that Will Levis may have a potential right as the number one overall pick based off of a rumor report that came out on Reddit. His draft stock and also his betting stock skyrocketed through the roof over the last 24 hours based on that report that he may be potentially the number one overall pick, telling the report states that he told friends and family that the Panthers will be selecting him number one overall. To me, that is complete cap. But anyway, we're going to get into it, baby. This is Life Just a Wave podcast, the final midday madness before the storm, the calm before the fucking storm. We are here 24 hours away from knowing who the Carolina Panthers will select. Again, if you're new to the channel, please make sure that you like and subscribe, baby. We are on the road to 900 subscribers. Make sure that you put the word out there for friends and family. Life is Just a Wave podcast. What separates me from a lot of these other podcasts is because I keep this shit lit for y'all, man. That's really the only thing is. No knock on all these other Panther podcasts out there. I definitely respect and see what they're doing, but you're not going to get it any realer than you get right here in Trillville at Life is Just a Wave podcast, man. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. As always, I will be having the crew pull up, man, to give their perspectives and their opinions on what's going on. And some people will sit up here and say, yeah, I'm going to support whoever it is, the quarterback that the Panthers take. That is absolutely cap. Let's go ahead and say the shout out to Supernova Moore, man. I'm tired of all of the cap. I'm tired of all of these Panther podcasts talking about that they will support whoever the Panthers draft. That is cap. And I'm going to say it one more time. Cap. That is cap. 100% cap. And you guys see the title of the show. Stop the cap, please. If Will Levis' name is called tomorrow, number one overall, I am going to be pissed. If Anthony Richardson's name called tomorrow, I am going to be pissed. Why am I going to be pissed, you say? You don't give away everything that you give away to draft the third and fourth prospects when the first and second prospects are sitting right in front of your face. That just makes no sense at all. So, no, I will not get behind Will Levis. No, I will not get behind AR-15. The Panthers gave away their franchise wide receiver, future draft picks this year to get to the number one, to get the best prospect available. And right now, his name is Bryce the fuck Young. The Panthers better not do what I think that some of the people that have been saying over the last 24 hours that they want to do. But wouldn't it be such a Panther thing to do for them to draft Will Levis number one or draft AR-15 number one? Honestly, guys, if I were to hear one of those names called tomorrow, I would not be surprised. You know why I won't be surprised? Because it is a Panther thing to do. It is a typical Panther thing to do, to just blow the fucking bag or blow an opportunity when you have an opportunity, right? So I better be tripping. These rumors better be lies. These rumors better be just bullshit, because I swear to you guys, if the Panthers call anybody name outside of a CJ Stroud or a Bryce Young tomorrow, I'm going to flip my shit. And I'm going to be going on a rant until the season starts. I really will. I will go on a fucking rant until the season starts if they call anybody's names outside of those two candidates. There's no way. Shout out to Jeff R in the chat waves. It won't be Levis or AR, Bryce, and CJ. It's clear. And Jeff R, listen, I know that it's clear, but these are the Carolina Panthers that we are talking about. Nothing surprises me with this football team. Absolutely nothing surprises me with this football team. There's no telling really what they're going to do. I am breaking shit tomorrow night. If that happens, listen, KJ do the great. Listen, I'm telling you, bro, if the Panthers do anything but what they're supposed to do tomorrow, I am going to flip my shit, bro. I don't care about these rumors or whatever that's coming out about Will Levis now. All of a sudden, he's shooting up the board. CJ Stroud stock is following. The rumor that came out, man, was that Will Levis suddenly popped up in the number 1 overall pick conversation. How? How is this even possible? I don't even understand how could anybody always been ranked as the 4th best prospect been considered to go number 1 overall. Even if this was the guy that the Carolina Panthers had in their mind that they were going to draft, you didn't need to trade up to number 1 to get him. You did not need to trade up all the way to number 1 to get him. There was no reason for us to give away the draft capital. The draft capital that we needed, that we gave away to get fucking Will Levis, right? You didn't need to trade up to number 1 to get AR-15. You didn't need to trade up to number 1 to get Will Levis. You could have got those guys at 3, 4, potentially 5, and 6. There was no reason for you to give away what you gave away to get one of those quarterbacks. That shit doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But in hindsight, it's all cap. 100% cap. That's all it is. It's all cap. The Panthers will be in better draft Bryce Young tomorrow night when the draft gets started. Again, don't forget, we will be live on the channel tomorrow, 7:45 p.m. Eastern, 15 minutes before the draft gets kicked off. Probably going to be doing a radio broadcast of the draft. Can't do a real broadcast of the draft on here because y'all know how YouTube is. YouTube be tripping, man. They already done blocked some of my shorts and shit like that. YouTube be wilding. I'm going to be honest with you. They be wilding, man. We make this platform all of this money, and they be wilding on type of stuff. They blocked like 3 or 4 of my shorts, but you know that's neither here nor there. Shout out to YouTube. Y'all be cutting the check soon. You know what time it is. But shout out to everybody, man, that's in the chat, man. Listen, Midday Madness in the mix, man. Listen, this is the calm before the storm, guys. We've literally been talking about this day coming for months, and the day is finally upon us on the future of the Carolina Panthers. What's next for us, guys? What does it mean? Like, how is the organization going to handle? What is the best situations to put this rookie quarterback in? We heard Frank Wright talked a little bit yesterday. Obviously, mini camps got under the way. The veteran mini camps were underway the last couple of days. We saw Miles Sanders suit up for the first time. Adam Thielen and a couple other guys suit up for the first time. It was awesome to see them in a Panther jersey. Looks like Miles Sanders is going to be wearing the number 6, which for a running back, I don't know. I like it, don't like it. But running backs, I would definitely prefer to see a running back in a 20 number or 30 number or something like that. But he had on the number 6 yesterday, so we'll see kind of where that goes. Poppin said anxiety through the roof. Poppin, pull up to the channel, man. We're about to drop the link here in a second. Honestly, my anxiety is not through the roof at all. I'm not feeling any type of nervousness for this because I've come to the conclusion, guys, literally over the last 24 hours, the last time that I talked to every single one of you guys, I've come to the conclusion that the Panthers can either make this right or fuck it up. Like, they literally can only do one or two things. Like, they can do what they're supposed to do, or you can fuck this whole thing up. And if they fuck it up, I would not be surprised. I really would not be surprised because it would be a typical Carolina Panther thing to do, right? Is to fumble the fucking bag tomorrow when you have an opportunity to become a billionaire. It makes no sense whatsoever. The fact that we are even in rumors have surfaced that Will Levis is even being considered for the number 1 overall pick is laughable to me. Like, that is 100% laughable. This guy has not proven anything at the collegiate level, has struggled. Yes, he has a strong arm. This guy had to post pictures of his fucking body just to increase his draft stock. That is completely ridiculous. Man, I hope that the Panthers don't make a very much Panther decision. I'm hoping that we are entering a new era with out the nonsense and all of the bad decisions and so on and so forth. The Panthers better not fumble the bag tomorrow when it comes to this draft. If I hear anybody's name outside of Bryce Young or CJ Stroud at number one tomorrow, I'm going to flip my shit, man. I'm telling you, I am going to flip my shit. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to, I don't know. Y'all might want to check on me, man. I might be, I don't know, man. It might be crazy. I might go wild. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. This shit just is very surprising to me to even hear like any of this coming out about like this whole Will Levis thing. Granted, it was on Reddit. It probably was a fluff. Probably call it a smoke screen, whatever the fuck that you want to call it. But the like because that it's out to me is just bothering me. Like who would even think that the Panthers would trade up all the way to one, give up their franchise wide receiver, future draft picks to even consider Anthony Richardson or Will Levis, the third and fourth rated prospects when you have the 1 and 2 right in front of you? That will literally be the worst decision the Carolina Panthers has ever made in Carolina Panthers history. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into some of the article, man. We got Big Bro backstage. Big Bro will be pulling up. I'm about to go ahead and drop the link for anybody that want to come up and pull up to the channel today. As always, all opinions, thoughts, and outlooks on this team is welcome. There is no wrong answers here on Life is Just a Wave podcast. We respect and honor everybody's how they feel about the team, no matter how bad you feel about them, how good you feel about them. Nobody's opinion is going to be knocked on whatever because you have a different opinion than everybody else. At the end of the day, this is always a disclaimer that I leave. We are all Carolina Panthers fans. We all want this football team to win. We all are in the same picture. We just got different poses. So, man, midday madness in the fucking mix. Day before the draft, man. Turn the hell up. If you ain't excited, you better turn the hell up, man. Turn the fucking hell up. These other Panther YouTube channels, man, they be on there. Welcome. You already know. Welcome. Where's the energy? Where is the energy? You got to be having energy when you talking to these Panther fans out here, man. Y'all taking the time out of y'all work days to come and talk to your boy. I'm going to bring the energy over here to y'all. I am turned up. This is the day before the draft. What's up, Zulu King? What's up with everybody, man? Glad that y'all doing out there. Hope everybody's safe. Hope everybody is healthy. Hope everybody is doing well, man. Y'all stay blessed, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Shout out to all my surfers out there, man. Hey, listen, if you want to donate to the channel, man, want to help your boy Big Waves out, the Cash App is scrolling across the screen. Anything that you guys send over will be greatly appreciated. It only helps the channel get over. Hey, look, we are on the road to 900 subs. Y'all help the boy get there, man. If you're new to the channel, y'all already know what time it is, man. We got a lot of shit to come up today. That is my opening soliloquy. All right, what's good, Courtesy, man? Courtesy, shout out to that boy, Courtesy. Man, I know you see this Will Levis shit, bro. Lord Young, I will take his throne on Pride Rock tomorrow. Hey, look, Nard, I hope you are right, bro. I really hope you are right. I just can't believe the audacity of this report about Will Levis being considered at number one. This shit makes no fucking sense at all. No sense at all. I really don't even understand how anybody could even consider Will Levis being considered with the number one overall pick. Like, if the Panthers do this shit tomorrow, like, if I hear Will Levis' name called tomorrow, y'all, I'm telling you, y'all can expect a live from me every single day. I will be bashing the fuck out of this football team. I'm just letting it be known right now. I will be bashing the fuck out of this football team. I'm still going to be a fan, still going to support the Panthers, but I will be bashing the fuck out of the Carolina Panthers if CJ Stroud or Bryce Young's name is not called tomorrow. We have completely fumbled the bag if neither one of those names are called tomorrow and we draft AR-15 or if we draft Will Levis with the number one overall pick. But I'm about to go ahead and bring Big Bro up there. Big Bro, you got to calm me down, bro. You got to calm me down, Big Bro, because I am losing my shit over this. I am really getting paranoid. I'm tripping out. You got to calm me down, man. What's good with it?
What's going on, man? Like I said, man, that coming out, the day before the draft or, late yesterday.
What's good with it?
About the Will Levis, man. It's a bunch of fluff. It's another smoke screen. Listen, Bryce Young is the number one pick, and that's who we will take tomorrow night. Once we're on the clock, it's a done deal. Vegas, Bryce Young was considered someone they had to throw a needle in the haystack, man, as far as to get people thrown off and get the bet line changed, which they did. That's Vegas. They all about money. So the betting on Will Levis, as soon as that article uh, got posted, the betting on Will Levis to be number one went up, man. A lot of people started putting bets on Will Levis, so that's how Vegas makes money. If you know anything about betting and moving betting lines, that's how they move lines when they come out with these reports, man, with certain stuff, especially the day before. So that's all it is, man. You got nothing to be worried about. The Panthers will do the right thing, man. I mean, tomorrow, by drafting Bryce Young, Wills Levis, again, it just doesn't make any sense at all from no football aspect or point of view
Popping, pull up to the channel, popping.
to even draft, Bryce Young. I'm sorry, to draft Will Levis at number one without everything that we gave him. I mean, he hasn't shown anything deserving to be a number one pick. Will Levis haven't. So why would we draft him over a Heisman Trophy winner and also a clear, NFL day one starter? Will Levis is not a day one starter. So again, this report is fluff. We're going to take Bryce. It's over and done with. Again, that's just Vegas moving the bet lines to make some more money. But we're taking Bryce tomorrow, man. You don't got nothing to worry about, man, when it comes to that. We're going to do the right thing tomorrow.
Yeah, I completely 100% agree, man. Like I really do. Shout out to Charles Lemon. There's a lot of reports out there just to stir fans up, bro. Unfortunately, y'all right, man. And listen, I'm glad that y'all calmed me the hell down because I really am like upset about this like coming out. I know the Panthers are going to do the right thing. I have every right in my body to believe that they're going to do the right thing, man. But big bro, wouldn't it be the typical Panthers thing to do some shit like that though? Like,
to answer your question, in the past, yes, that would be the typical Panthers, scenario to play out. But I think man, we moving forward from that stuff, man. Making dumb moves. I think we finally in a spot in the right direction of doing right by this team and these fans, man. Everything that they've done so far this offseason, going back to hiring the coach, has been, on the up and up, man. So why would they go, get to the draft tomorrow and draft Will Levis? He's not a day one guy. He's not ready to go. So it just wouldn't make sense. But yes, to answer your question, typical Panthers move, they will draft, Will Levis and bypass all, the other two best prospects in the draft based on the past.
You right, man. Poppy, what's good with it, bro?
What's up? What's up? Hey, look, check it, right? So they're hosting here in Charlotte, the NFL
live draft party.
Live draft party, right?
Yes,
There's
sir.
too many people from the east side and the west side in there for $5, and they pick Will Levis, bro. The stadium, you're gonna get you a new stadium, dog. Straight up, you're gonna get you a new stadium, bro. Straight up, you're gonna hear motherfuckers in there. You're gonna hear motherfuckers in there talking about I'm blanking. It's over. It's up. If you ain't from
that shit will turn into a riot, though,
bro. If you ain't from Charlotte and they say they blanking, they about to blank. Get down, dog. That's a Carolina word. Get down. Get low.
I ain't even think about that, Bobby.
If they pick Will Levis, bro, I'm telling you, they said they had their mind made up a long time ago. Okay, cool. If Will Levis come across that stage, bro, you gonna have your new stadium. You ain't got to worry about them trying to when they gonna rebuild it. It's over with, dog.
Yeah, they gonna flip that bitch out.
That shit gonna be flipped over, dog. I'm telling you, that's why I said anxiety through the roof, because I don't like, what I'm saying, how, the media plays with people.
Yeah, they playing with our emotions, man.
But that man went from 400 to 5,000. I was like, what?
That's crazy. That's what
How?
they said. Hey, big bro, they said that shit was one of the biggest jumps, man, before a draft ever.
Ever.
Yeah, but
Like
that's how you
ever.
know, man. Like Vegas is in play, man, when it comes to money, bro. Because again, anybody that know Vegas and know gambling, man, the house is always gonna win, right?
Right.
So meaning they can put out stuff to move the lines to get because everybody was betting on Bryce Young to be the number one pick, right? Which he gonna be. So that
Right.
means everybody will win and the house may lose. So then the day before they put out an article by an anonymous person on Reddit to say that Will Levis is going around telling people, family and friends, that he's gonna be the number one pick. Carolina already told him that. Like, I don't buy it, man. Again, I don't buy it. Like, it's just because everything that's showing, like, say, Bryce canceled his visits. The Panthers, brought him in, man. He did his media rounds last week, and it just doesn't make sense for Bryce for Will Levis. There's nothing that's shown that Will Levis can jump Bryce Young, man, to be the number one pick. Now, him getting drafted at two, maybe three, third quarterback taking off the board, I can see that, but nah, not number one, man, not number one. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, go ahead, Pop.
they better check people area codes on their license when they come in there. I'm trying to tell you. They better
Yeah.
they from 28227. Watch out.
You know what the crazy part about this is? So Jonathan Jones was, former Panther beat writer, currently CBS writer. He came out with a report, man. I posted this in my community. He came out, man. He said that he knows pretty confidently that the Panthers will take Bryce Young with the pick tomorrow. And he said that his inside sources of the team have stated that they already have a diet plan ready for once he arrives to Carolina. So their first mission is going to be putting weight on Bryce Young when he comes to Carolina. That's going to be one of their first things that they do.
And shout out to
Jonathan Jones. Anybody that knows Jonathan Jones, he's been a Panther insider for years, ever since we were little.
Yep, and shout out to Jeff Ard, man. That's what he just stated in the comments.
Yes, sir.
So that hit the nail right on the head. Hey, listen, guys. Again, this is a bunch of fluff. Bryce Young is our guy. It's the writing's on the wall. I don't care about this report about Will Levis. And again, that could be something about his camp. His camp might have put that out, man, to try to get his draft stock higher. These agents and things, even with Vic, man, they do stuff like this all the time to try to sway the narrative, and change what's going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen out there, Bryce Young will be our guy tomorrow night when the draft.
Yeah, shout out to Tremont Molly Mall Keller. He said, "How did I become an LSU fan?" Honestly, my brother, he was an LSU fan when Nick Saban was at Alabama. Obviously, that year that LSU won a championship, I was kind of one of those little brothers. I like whatever my big brother liked, so that's how I became an LSU fan. Once Nick Saban left, he went to Alabama with Nick Saban. But I've been an LSU fan ever since, man. So that's the reason kind of how I became there. So hope that answers your question, Molly Mall. Shout out to Carolina Logic. CJ Stroud is the pick and has been the pick since Pro Day. CLT is in the building. CLT, man, what do you think about this damn news that is coming out, man, about Will Levis potentially and his odds going up being the number one overall pick? What kind of shit is this?
I don't know, man, but I know when I seen it, I was telling people, man, I know it's a strong thing to say, but if they would have picked Will Levis, I think I probably should have turned in my bad day to Panther.
Hey, CLT, bro, I was sitting up here saying it. I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't get bothered by a lot of reports, right? I don't, because I read damn near all of them. You could ask my big brother. I read a lot of reports, man, and obviously you got to pick and choose what holds weight, what don't. But, man, when I saw this shit, man, this shit was like a slap in the face, Poppin'. This shit was like a slap in the fucking face, man, like when I saw it. Like
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was like a slap in the face to me as a Panther fan, because I'm saying to myself, y'all go wait till the day before the draft, literally, to come out with some bullshit like this. It was a slap in the face.
I just don't understand. I mean, what boosted his stock because he taking his shirt off and trying to be a porn star all of a sudden? Like, what? How did he run up that quick? Like, that's the fastest
This
come
is
up
what the
I've
article
ever
said.
seen in history.
Yeah, this is what the article is saying on it, man. And I'm gonna read some excerpts from this article that came out yesterday. Give me 2 seconds, man, for me to pull this shit up.
I took my shirt off and all the team started
Yeah,
cheering.
man. What kind of draft pick takes his fucking shirt off, man, and send pictures to like teams, post that shit on Twitter. But this is basically he go to report for those that don't know. So it stated that while Alabama star Bryce Young remains the consensus favorite to be the number 1 overall pick in this draft on Thursday, Kentucky star Will Levis has shifted dramatically in days, setting a record. He's now a plus 400 $100 bet wins 400 at DraftKings Sportsbook to be selected first by the Carolina Panthers. Now, someone on Reddit posted Will Levis is telling friends and family Carolina will be the pick to take him as the number 1 pick. So then somebody came behind it and said the same person who was telling you Will Levis is the pick at number 1 is also who has opinions on the impending recasting of the Joker in the next Batman film. So it's cap.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's cap, man. It's cap, but this is where it started. This is where it kind of stayed off, man. But all of the insiders, man, even David Newton, the Carolina Panthers writer on ESPN.com, said it shouldn't hold a lot of weight. But it just goes to show you, man, just like how the media has control over the narrative for all of these players, man. Shout out to Dylan Justice. Big Waves, you become my favorite podcaster for real. Keep the grind, bro, and keep pounding. Hey, Dylan, man, I appreciate it, man. It's fans like you, brother, keep me wanting to keep pushing and doing this shit, man. So thank you, bro. I appreciate you being a supporter of the channel. No doubt. So, fellas, let me ask you this question. CLT, go ahead and finish getting your part out, man, and I'm going to get into this next question, man, about this report.
Yeah, man. I just think Congress better not read into it, man. Better not be persuaded. And that's ridiculous, man. We could have stayed at 9 if we wanted Will Levis. We shouldn't even be a considered candidate at all at number 1, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Jeff R., to answer your question, what school has the best wide receivers in college history? Ohio State, Bama, or LSU? I mean, you already know what I'm gonna say. I mean, but it's arguable there. It's very arguable. I mean, Bama has put out Julio Jones, a lot of Mari Cooper, a lot of great wide receivers there. LSU, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, just to name a few. But I mean, it's really arguable. Ohio State has definitely put out. I don't know if it's one true wide receiver university, but because I'm an LSU fan, I'm gonna say LSU. So I hope that answers your question. Fellas, getting into the next topic of the show, man. Shout out to everybody that's pulling up to the channel. Again, Midday Madness in the mix. We are 24 hours, just 24 hours away from knowing what the future of the Carolina Panthers may hold, right? And obviously, we have been on the clock for the last couple of months. Guys, we've been having these conversations back and forth literally for months, talking about the strength and weaknesses of every single one of these quarterback prospects coming out. We talked about what this guy could do well, what that guy can't do well. For me, it's always been CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. But the question to you guys is, how do you feel about the Panthers' process on figuring out which guy is going to make sense, right? Like through this whole draft process. This has probably been one of the most thorough draft processes for the Carolina Panthers have ever had for a number 1 pick. But I want to get you guys' thoughts, man, on kind of how do you think Scott Fitterer, Frank Wright has handled this process in this offseason? Before we get to it, what would you guys rate this whole process up to this point? And obviously leading up to the draft pick tomorrow, what would you guys rate since the season ended on how the Carolina Panthers have done this offseason? Anybody can take that.
I'm gonna go first because I got a slide.
Yeah, all right.
I think they did a great job as far as the process. I think that they didn't rush. A lot of fans are like, they need to have their decisions made right now. Now you can't do that when you got this type of staff that came in that's new. trying to work that out, trying to figure out who's gonna do what. So I give them an A+ all around for what they've done. They try to bring in good talent. This has been the best offseason ever in Carolina history. And I mean, hats off to them, man. Let's just hope they go get King Richard the 15th.
Hey, y'all. Hey, look. I've been seeing you, boy. Y'all sold on AR-15 now over there, popping.
Hey, look, he only 20 years old, man. Only 20. Only
Yeah,
20.
I got
Man.
you. I got you.
But
I got you.
hey, look, everybody got their pick. I'm gonna support whoever it is. Will Levis, bruh,
I don't know about that one.
I'm gonna have a problem.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
yeah.
a real problem. But appreciate you having me on your show.
Nah, you no doubt, man. You always welcome here, popping.
This shit lit, man. It's good vibes, good vibes.
All right, but appreciate you for pulling up to the channel, man. Most definitely. Have a good day, fam.
Always, brother.
All right. Yeah, so CLT, what's your thoughts, man, on this Panthers offseason, this whole draft process, how they've handled it? Obviously, man, going to all of the pro days, talking about the top 3-4 candidates for the Panthers. What would you rate, man, this whole process for the Panthers?
You got to rate the offseason. I would give it a 10. I would say it's the best offseason we done had.
Where the hell you at, in the Waffle House?
I'm in the airport. Now I told you I was going out the country.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but
My bad.
I'm trying to tune in, but yeah, I mean, Temper ain't pulling no plugs on limitations as far as like the funds he allowed us to have to go
Right.
seek talent. You know what I'm saying? Go acquire talent, free agency. Also go take talent in these pro days, have these one-on-ones. Give Frank White, give Fitter the opportunity to make the right decision, man. So I say it's a 10 for the offseason.
Bet. Let me get to these comments and I get Big Bruh points. So Courtesy said, Joe Person just tweeted, he asked CJ Stroud on if he thought he would be the Panthers pick. He said, to be honest, I don't know. If you asked me months ago, I have a different answer for you, but I have no idea. Appreciate you for Courtesy. Yeah, that speaks a lot of words. Then next we have Mighty Mike, Relax Ways. I was about to ready to lose my shit yesterday when I heard the news about Levis. The pick is Bryce. Listening to the Panthers, they traded up to get Bryce. Plus, they got a diet plan, etc. Absolutely heard that report that came out over this morning about the diet plan as well. Big bro, how do you feel about the Panthers offseason so far in this draft process and how they've handled it leading up to the pick tomorrow night?
I think they've handled it, man, as best as possible. They evaluated guys. I think it's always been the top two guys that's from day one. There was Bryce and CJ. Those been the top two guys that they were considering to make a move up for to go from 9 to number 1. So I think once they made the move, they went to the pro days. CJ and Bryce, and they evaluated those pro days. They evaluated film. They also brought those guys in for visits. Again, they went to those other pro days, just out of just a part of the process with it. But it's always been CJ and Bryce. And I think they did their due diligence, man. I think, from top down, Tepper, Fitterer, Frank Wright, having the coaches meet, these guys, man, I think it was a collective effort, getting to this point of knowing who they're going to draft tomorrow night at number 1, man. So I think they handled the offseason so far, man. The offseason has been an A+ for me. As far as what we've done, this is I would say probably the best offseason so far, man, that we have without going through the draft tomorrow. So far, man, it's been the best offseason. The Panthers, they've handled everything well. The questions is, we haven't really scratched our heads when it came to any decisions that they've made, so far, bringing in the free agents, the coaching staff. We like, oh man, as a fan, and I've been a fan since day one. I said, damn, man, we actually, doing what we should have been doing. So that's how I feel about this offseason, man. I just think so far, man, we knocked it out of the park, and hopefully tomorrow will solidify that, man, with the draft picks. This weekend, going through the draft, man, we'll solidify this offseason with making the right picks and hitting on these picks. So,
agreed. So also with that, man, I will go ahead and say that Agent 704 said, "I hope you ain't flying Spirit CLT." uh, what a Big Cat, all Bryce, Unc, all Stroud, yeah, Tiff, yeah. Everybody's a little bit, man, on a whole different type of wave right now. Some Panther channels want AR-15. I've even seen some Panther channels, want Will Levis, man. So everybody kind of right now has a mixed bag on what we should do and what we should take. Honestly, man, Bryce or CJ would be fine for me. Again, I haven't leaned one way to the other, but I will definitely say that Bryce has grown on me a lot over the last couple of weeks, just probably for the same reason he's going on everybody. Just far his playmaking ability and his processing skills is the reason why I feel like Bryce Young is probably going to make the most sense right now for the Carolina Panthers. But again, CJ Stroud is just as worthy as this number one overall pick. So if neither one of those names are called tomorrow, either one of those names, I'm going to be happy for either one of those names being called tomorrow. I think it's going to be Bryce Young. I probably willing to bet my house mortgage on Bryce Young being the pick, but I wouldn't be mad if CJ Stroud name gets called. So another report, obviously, that came out yesterday. Again, Midday Madness in the mix, man. Here with your boy. Big Waves in the building. Big Bruh CLT live from the airport. Y'all already know what time it is, man. A lot of interesting stuff. We are 24 hours away from the draft. 24 hours away. But some other Panther news came out, man. According to ESPN, Adam Schefter, Brian Burns had surgery to repair a fracture in his right ankle last Wednesday. And there's an expectation that he recovered in time for training camp and return to play with no limitations during the 2023 season. So Brian Burns had to have a ankle surgery to repair a fracture. What are y'all thoughts on this, fellas? They say that he's going to be ready in time for camp, but does this put extra pressure on the Panthers to pick up another defensive end just in case it may take Brian Burns a little bit more time to be ready for the regular season?
I think we it was already pressure on us to get another DN because we need some depth at the position. Hopefully Brian is coming ready to start training camp healthy, man. For the start of the season. But again, it just we were already in need of a DN, so I think us going about and get one of these free agents like a Clowney, man, to come in to solidify that position, man, and just have more depth there, man, because, we already need that before the injury with Brian Burns and this surgery, man. I think Brian, he should be fine by the time the season starts. But yeah, we definitely got to bring somebody in. I would say, hell, to bring at least two of them in, man, get that rotation steady. Get some of these veterans that's still out there. Clowney has been brought up several times. I think that'll be a good addition. We can work a deal with him. A couple of these other veterans that's available, man. We bring in at least two of them, I think we'll be good.
Yeah, man. And there's some quality defensive end veterans that are still out there that's available, man. I think that you can get Clowney, honestly, for a very, very low deal right now. And I think that the Panthers should really try to bring him in. Even if Brian Burns wasn't hurt, we still got to solidify the opposite defensive end position. Granted, we're moving to a 3-4 scheme where Derek Brown, obviously you can have a little bit more size at the defensive end position. But, Clowney, man, to return back home, 1-year deal, you probably can get him for pennies at this particular point in time, just to give you some kind of solid production and rotation there at the position. CLT, what's your thoughts on it, man?
I was just gonna say, man, it might change the perspective of that second round pick. You may have to go defensive end because now we probably don't have our star defensive end. We don't have a defensive end because he was our only defensive end at the time.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. I think that, man, he waited kind of late to have this surgery. If I'm sitting here thinking about it, for a fractured ankle. Granted, if it was a hairline fracture or whatever it is, man, to have that surgery, just last week, and we're already sitting like basically in May. We're basically in May. And you're talking about training camps, man, starting up here in June and July. I don't think he's giving himself a lot of time to get back healthy, man. And with that ankle, man, it could get sensitive, it can get sore. I think that he might be ready to go, man, as far as week 1, but training camp might be a little bit of a stretch.
Do you think he tried to hide it from the team until he got an extension?
Well, some of the reports, yeah. See, that's the thing, because some of the reports said that he had been dealing with soreness in the ankle for a while. They said that he was dealing with the soreness for an ankle for a while, and they said that when he went to go get an MRI on it, it revealed that he had a fracture in his ankle. So, and again, to your point, bro, that may be true. He may have tried to hide this thing out until he just couldn't do it anymore. Obviously mini camp started up, veteran mini camp started up over the last couple of days, and he wasn't there, because of the surgery that he had. But you're talking about somebody, man, that saying that he's going to be ready for training camp. I don't know if he's going to be 100% ready to go by training camp. I mean, it's already May, and a fractured ankle for a defensive end, even if it's a hairline fracture, man, I could see him re-aggravate that thing, or that thing still being sore for a little bit longer. Week 1 might be more of a realistic play for him, but I don't know about him being ready for training camp. I just don't know.
I mean, I think, man, he probably maybe he thought that, man, it could probably heal on his own, because some of those fractures, depending on how severe they are, they may not require surgery, and you can choose to have it heal on its own. So I think it might have been a scenario like that, and then I guess at this point it wasn't healing properly, so he's like, all right, well, I got to go ahead and get the surgery because I want to be available by the time the season starts. So I think that it probably was that type of scenario. But I mean, we're sitting here at the beginning of May. He gets the surgery done, and heal for a month 2 training camp, what starts up end of July. So I mean, he got some time, man, to get back again, to really, and he got some time to be. He can be a day one starter, man. On this injury, depends on how his healing, get to his rehab. Brian Burns, man, he's a young guy. And he puts in the work, so I think he's gonna be fine, man. He may possibly miss a game or 2 just to get back in the conditioning wise, but I think he's gonna be fine, man. I think we're gonna have him available for majority of the season. Can't hear you, man.
Shout out to pass courtesy. He said pass rusher is a must at 39. Jeff R says free agency normally dictates what you draft. We picked up 3 wide receivers in free agent. That lets you know that our round 2 will probably be defense edge for sure. Shout out to B Amos. B Amos, what's good with it, man? You might can get Clowney for 2 packs of Newports and the Colt 45 at this point. I'm 100% with you. Courtesy also says I think he was trying to see if it heals naturally. Yeah, Big Bro just said before opting for surgery. I think you guys are right about that. But it's weird, man, because do you guys think that they'll get a deal done with Brian Burns before the start of the season? Or do you think that this could be a potential, man, situation where we don't want to get into any kind of contract disputes with any of our players starting this new regime and new era here in Carolina? When do you guys think that they'll get a deal done for Brian Burns?
I mean, I think they'll get it done, man. Sooner than later, man. Brian Burns, he's a key young piece, man, for that defense. So even this injury, I mean, I don't think it's going to set him back to where, he ain't going to get paid or we're not going to offer him a deal. Again, this is a small, to me, I consider small to, moderate injury. It ain't nothing major that, he's going to be out for a significant amount of time, especially having surgery, in the off season. So they're going to get a deal done. It might become for training camp, might come during training camp, but I think they're going to have something worked out before the season starts.
Gotcha. CLT, what about you, man?
I mean, I would read heavy into it because he is a speed rusher. We do want to stand it up this year. Without that ankle, and I wonder what he can do. He doesn't rely on power, so he has to have that speed, that agility coming off the edge. So I feel like it's important.
Curry said that they would get a drill done after the draft. I really hope so, man. Again, we just don't want any kind of issues, man, plaguing us into the system. To the season with any of the players, man, that we have here. Shout out to everybody, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Midday Madness in the mix. So we talked about the reports that have come out about Will Levis being the potential #1 overall pick. Some say it is just fluff. I think that it's cap as well. But would it be a Carolina Panther thing to do to not pass up on the 2 best prospects and take either the 3rd or 4th best rated quarterback in the draft tomorrow night? Damn, I'm getting choked. Taking a look at some NFL news that have just come out across the NFL. The 2024 top prospects for next year's draft have been released. The 2024 top draft prospects for next year have been released. And guys, it's some talent coming out next year. It really is some talent coming out next year, man. And I don't know, man. I think next year might have this year beat, man. Let's talk about some of these talents. So quarterbacks, 1 year out, the battle for QB1 in the 2024 NFL draft is seemingly between Drake May from North Carolina and USC's Caleb Williams, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. Williams was the #7 overall prospect in the 2021 recruiting class. Also, the cycle includes Quinn Ewers from Texas, J.J. McCarthy from Michigan. The final quarterback is obviously Bo Nix from Oregon. So you talking about some of the top prospects, man, is crazy. Next year, you have J.C. Latham as a standout offensive lineman, who's arguably to go at the top from Alabama. On the defensive side, edge rusher Dallas Turner to embrace the bright spotlight. He's expected to replace Will Anderson Jr. And then you also have Kool-Aid McKinstry, who has an excellent size, 6'1", 195-pound quarterback from Alabama, who's also projected to go in the top 5. Wide receiver Ja'Cory Brooks is worth monitoring next year. And at Ohio State prospects, you have wide receiver, obviously, Marvin Harrison Jr., who's projected to be a top 3 wide receiver. He wasn't a 5-star prospect when coming out of high school, but is arguably the best player in college football right now. They also have running back Trayvon Henderson and Will Shipley, the running back from Clemson, is also expected to go into the top 10. Amaris Mims, Javon Sanders, and defensive prospects, LSU's Mason Smith, Leonard Taylor III, are all high upside defensive tackles projected to go in the top draft next year. So just to give you guys some names already 1 year removed from the draft of potential prospects that's going to come out. But obviously, a question that I have for you guys, and really give your true, honest answers here. Do you think that Caleb Williams will be a better prospect than Bryce Young and CJ Stroud when he's ready to come out in 2024?
I mean, man, that's kind of hard to project without going through this season. Caleb Williams, I mean, he is a good quarterback. What he did at USC last year, was pretty good, but he also struggled, man, on the big stage. I forgot what game it was last year. I think it might have been a bowl game. It was one game, or the game before that bowl game. I can't remember. It was within their last 2 games last year. They were playing somebody, and I was expecting him to show up, man, and be good, and he struggled. I forgot what team it was. Matter of fact, let me look it up real quick. I want to be right about that. USC. But yeah, man, he was he's a good quarterback. I just want to see him do better on the bigger stage. Not the struggles, man, because he struggled against teams that he shouldn't have struggled against. Let's see, it was a game that they lost. So I'm looking at their schedule.
Yeah, I know they did lose their bowl game.
Yeah, it was a Tulane game, Cotton Bowl. That's what it was. Yep. They lost 46-45, man, and he struggled against Tulane, man, which is, and this is not no knock on Tulane,
Yeah,
but
Tulane was actually a decent team this
I
year.
mean they was, but again, it's still USC, man. He's a top, what I could call an elite quarterback prospect, man, and he kind of struggled, which I mean, he had. Let's see.
Nard 704. I'm good on the coke, brother. I appreciate the offer, man, but I'm good on the cocaine. I'm good on that though. You have a good time with it though. Agent 704 said Caleb is the truth. Damn, I wish we could get him. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think that Caleb Williams, man, has the potential to be better than any of the quarterback prospects that came out this year. I 100% believe that. You got to remember something about Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams started at Oklahoma. And even at Oklahoma, man, in his younger years as a freshman, Caleb Williams was the truth there. He was the truth there, man. When he was at Oklahoma, he was still young. Obviously, they didn't win a ton of big games while he was there. But you're talking about a guy, man, who really can do everything at the quarterback position, has an accurate arm. Now, I do say this, man. I am questionable on his character off the field because he's done some weird shit off the field that, it's kind of suspect to me. But I will say that, man, on the field, Caleb Williams is a dog. Like, he really is a dog, man. He can make all of the plays, make all of the throws, has a hell of an accurate arm, man. And his ability, man, to extend plays is off the fucking charts. It really is off the charts. I wouldn't be surprised if Caleb Williams is the number 1 overall pick next year. And the team,
I wouldn't be surprised, man. That's what I'm saying. I want to see what he's gonna do this year. I just want to see more consistent for him. I mean, he won, he won the Heisman this year, this past year. I mean, he's solid, man. He's one again. I said elite quarterback, man. He's an elite quarterback. I just want to see him do more things in big games, man. Where your team is rallying and they need you, to pull off a W. So he definitely has a chance. It wouldn't surprise me if he is the number 1 pick next year's draft. The dude, I mean, he's special. He's another special guy. So,
yeah, it's definitely, man. And speaking of quarterbacks, CLT, what's your thoughts on Caleb Williams, man? Not sure if you know too much about him. What are your thoughts on Caleb?
Just from what I've seen, man, I feel like he's just a bigger Bryce. Honestly, yeah, I don't feel like he's smart as Bryce. From some of the plays I've seen him make, some of the throws, like he'll take a risk. But I think he's just a bigger Bryce, mobile. He can, like you said, can make all the throws. Got a bigger arm than Bryce, I would say. Has a stronger personality. When we talk about putting the asses in the seats. But
Yeah,
I feel like
he definitely is doing that.
yeah, I would say he's a great candidate though, but I wouldn't say he's just that much better. Like I said before, because some of the decisions I've seen him make is questionable.
Yeah, definitely agree with you, man. So this season is going to tell out a lot. So talking about, man, quarterbacks, it is going to get interesting after the Panthers take number 1, who they're going to take. There's been 4 reported teams over the last 24 hours that have talked about trading up, getting a quarterback. And some of these teams you may be a little bit surprised on. First one is the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings could be looking to move on from Kirk Cousins. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens. For obvious reasons, Lamar Jackson has still not got a contract done, and we are heading into May. This thing is dragging out at an unbelievable level. Then you're talking about the New England Patriots. Obviously, they drafted Mac Jones 2 years ago. Maybe it'd be time for them to go ahead and move on from him. And then obviously the Green Bay Packers. Some within the organization don't believe that he is ready to take over for Aaron Rodgers, and they may be looking to get another quarterback there. What are the thoughts on that, man? And guys, give me some bold predictions on a team you feel like that will trade up to with either the Houston Texans or the Cardinals at 2 or 3 that will try to get a quarterback there. One of them, honestly, probably is in our division, and I want to know who you guys think about that.
Okay, yeah, man, I'll start it off. So, to answer the question about bold prediction, which team or draft up. Let me see. Let me pull up. Okay. So I could see Seahawks, and I'm gonna give you a bold one, man. I'm gonna give you a bold one. I'm gonna say the Detroit Lions, man. I'm gonna say Detroit,
Detroit?
and this is why. You said bold, so this is why. Even though we know they got uh Fold, what's the name? Not Fold,
Golf.
Golf, Jared Golf. He had a pretty good season last year. But I think they're not. I think they're not sold on the man. Like, I mean, Golf is, he pretty solid quarterback. But I still think he's not the guy. So I'm gonna say bold prediction. That's my bold prediction. The Lions drafting up to number 3 at least with the Cardinals and going to get a quarterback. That's my bold prediction. And if I would have to say another team after that would be Seattle drafted up, trading up to number 3 or 2. So
Courtesy, that's not happening, bro.
Houston, Texas will trade up with
Courtesy, listen. I know how you feel about CJ Stroud, Courtesy. I know how you feel about CJ Stroud, brother. And in hindsight, I feel the same way about him. But bro, it's gonna be the Bryce show tomorrow. It's gonna be the Bryce show. CLT, bold prediction, man, and what you see happening after the Panthers take number 1.
Oh man, you can see the Bucks trading up. The Bucks in a dire need for a quarterback.
They are.
No type of quarterback. They have some players they can add in. Obviously they aging, but you have some players, you have some draft capital. They in desperate need of a quarterback. They can take AR, someone that could possibly fall a little bit lower. But if you want to come all the way up and get your guy, I think Tampa will do it. Especially if we go ahead, since we are at 1, they want to compete for the division as well. Come get their guy.
Definitely. And the reports have been out there that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will trade up to get Will Levis, man. Because Baker Mayfield is obviously not the answer for them there in Tampa Bay. He's just a bridge quarterback until they draft one. So I definitely see them trading up to go get a quarterback. Shout out to Eric. Dude said, get the coat ready. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, man. I don't know about getting the coat ready, man. I'm good on the snow. I'm good on the snow. Schefter reported Texas almost strike the trade up with Chicago. Yeah, they did. They did almost strike it up. Listen, man, honestly, for them to trade up one spot, if I'm Carolina, I'm hitting them over the head, man. I'm hitting them over the head. Mighty Mike, everybody, I'm hitting them over the head. If the Texans want to trade up to number 1, go up one spot, I am hitting them over the fucking head. It's simple as that. I am hitting them over the head with whatever it is that they're wanting and what they that they need. Just to move one spot, I'm going to need about 3 assets this year. Honestly, I'm going to need the second pick. I'm going to need their second and third this year for them to move up one spot. Because, again, the report is that they were going to trade with Chicago right before us to get the number 1 overall pick. I posted that report in our community section the other day. That was the report that came out there that the Texans were close to closing a deal with the Chicago Bears for the number 1 overall pick prior to Carolina sweeping in at the last moment to getting a deal done. So it's clear the Houston Texans want Bryce Young. But now that it seems like Bryce Young is going to Carolina, looks like the Texans are all right with taking somebody else or a defensive player or something like that in the if they're not able to get Bryce Young. I could see them potentially, honestly, what I could see them doing is them taking Will Anderson, whoever they sold on is the best prospect at number 2. And then for 12, they trade up to maybe about 5 or 6 to try to get Will Levis. That's what I really see happening with the Texans at number 2. I really do. But yeah, Eric, I don't know what the boy was talking about the Coke, man. He said get the Coke ready. I don't know. He partying a little bit too much, man, for me. I don't know about that, man. But shout out to everybody, man. Listen, 24 hours away from the draft, knowing who we will be taking number 1 overall. We're here today talking about the report that came out overnight about Will Levis potentially being a top-rated guy for the number 1 overall pick. Is it fact or cap? CLT, is it fact or cap? Are the Panthers really considering him, or have they ever really considered him being the number 1 overall pick? Fact or cap?
I think it's cap. I don't know who would even consider him at 1, man. That doesn't make sense. It's extremely cap.
All right, big bro, and I think I already know what you is, but would you say it's fact or cap?
Definitely cap, man. We drafting Bryce tomorrow. We're almost 24 hours away. Bryce Young will be the pick. Will Levis not number 1 worthy, and there's no disrespect to Levis. He's just not the number 1 pick. In this year's draft when you have a CJ and a Bryce right there. So it's definitely cap.
I'm going to disrespect him a little bit, though. I'm going to disrespect him a little bit because, honestly, I think Will Levis is the worst out of these 3 candidates. I think that he's the worst out of these 3 candidates. I honestly think that he's the 4th best rated quarterback out of all of these candidates out here. I honestly think that he is. What I will say about this, though, because I think it's important, man, that I say this. Will Levis has a cannon for a fucking arm. He has a strong ass arm. I think he has intangibles that you can begin to build on if you have the time to build on it within an organization, right? A team like the Colts, a team like, like you said, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, somebody like that would be more of a better fit. I think what we have to understand as Panther fans and the guys that have been clamoring for Will Levis or AR-15 this whole time, because some of these Panther podcasts, I'm not going to say no names, but if y'all been watching them, y'all already know who they are. Some of these guys have been cramming for these guys since day one. AR-15, Will Levis, right? Like Will Levis. They've been cramming for these guys for a long time. And I honestly think that they're not understanding the fact that the Panthers are not in a situation where time is a luxury. They're not in that situation. We don't have a ton of time. We don't have a ton of time to figure it out, to get it right, to make sure that we got the right guy. We don't have 2 to 3 years for a guy to blossom like a flower. Like we don't have that luxury here in Carolina. This staff and this regime does not have that luxury, right? So you can't say that. You said Levis also played in the NFL offense. Courtesy. He may play in the NFL offense, but go look at his numbers from this past season. And a lot of them will blame it on, blame it on the wide receivers that he had, or whatever the case may be, that he had this, that he only had this amount of wide receivers. He only had this, that. No, that's not an excuse for his play on the football field. Guys, at the end of the day, the Carolina Panthers will be selecting Bryce Young or CJ Stroud tomorrow. My gut feeling and I'm willing to bet the house on Bryce Young at this particular point in time. All right. CLT. We about to wrap it up a little bit early today, bro. I got to get some stuff taken care of, man, from work. But we will be live again, everybody. We are live again tomorrow at 7:45 p.m. Eastern for the draft. Okay? We are live again tomorrow for live draft reaction at 7:45 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Then after the first round, I will be immediately after the first round going live tomorrow night to talk about the draft. And then on Friday, I am going to be going live again by talking about the draft. That's why I'm keeping these lives a little bit short this week, because, guys, I am going to be on a tear this weekend with my lives and the content for you guys over the next couple of days. So we are live again tomorrow night, 7:45 Eastern, for the live draft reaction. Live draft reaction show. Again, I probably will have the radio broadcast playing up here on the screen for you guys of the draft. Can't put, listen, I want to stream the actual draft. Can't do it here on YouTube And until I get my Discord is on the way. My Discord is on the way, guys. The Discord for Life is Just a Wave podcast is on the way. And once that happens, we will be doing that. We will be showing all different type of stuff in the Discord, guys. So be on the lookout for the Discord coming up as well. That way I'll be able to stream when all of this stuff happens, guys, and get ready for so on and so forth. But guys, thank y'all for so much for pulling up to the show. Again, cutting a little bit short today because we are live again tomorrow, 7:45 p.m. Eastern, and we will remain live through the rest of the first round of the draft. So make sure that you pull up 24 hours away from figuring out who the Panthers' future quarterback is going to be. Lock in. It's time to get excited. It's time to turn the fuck up. If you haven't done so, make sure you got your liquor ready. Go to the ABC store today. Go and get whatever you need to get today because tomorrow it's going down. It's fucking going down. 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Pull up to the show. Life is Just a Wave podcast, baby. CLT, get your final words, bro, and enjoy your trip.
Everybody tune in tomorrow, man. It's a big day for us as Panthers fans, man. It's a big day for football fans in general, man. We got the number one pick. Let's see who we select, man. 7:45 Eastern Standard Time, man. Be there or be square.
Pull up to the channel, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Life is Just a Wave podcast, everybody. Holla at y'all till next time. Be easy. Another Midday Madness in the mix. We are live again, repeating, 7:45 Eastern tomorrow. Be there or be square. Holla at my surfers. Yeah.